on the car this time. They've got some damage on the right front. Evidently, whatever's causing these spins jumped out there and got them again.
Put the truck. Put it in the truck.
They've had enough.
Yeah, this car kept popping out of gear throughout the night, and every time it pops out of the car.
Gear again.
I can't tell you for sure, Jimmy. I don't think so.
Tough break for the rookie, David Reagan. He goes back behind the wall. Leader staying out. 79 laps to go here at Bristol under caution for the 6th time.
Back at Thunder Valley under the lights on a Saturday night. Casey Kane going a long way to get a disappointing season back on track. Let's take a look in the McDonald's race rundown. He started from the pole and showing some great skills tonight. A caution, Johnny Sauter getting in front of him. Great job getting around him.
He did a wonderful job. You know, they had the longest run without a caution first part of this race. They ran 74 laps previously, but he did a great job getting out front early.
And night ended early for Denny Hamlin, lap 211. He knew it was coming, the blown engine.
Yeah, they lost the motor. He felt it coming, but like I say, only the second one of the year. He's done a great job. He's still mired deep in this point chase. Bad night, but he'll make up for it.
And the king of concrete is leading the way right now. Carl Edwards has led the second most laps. Now, we know he's won 4 or 5 Busch Series races on concrete this year, but how about a cup race?
He has been very impressive tonight. He's got a strong hot rod. He's marched that thing to the front, and he's going to be difficult to get around.
Doc Roush Racing has been dominant at Bristol. Carl Edwards can lead the way tonight.
Exactly, Susie. Matt Kenseth won here last August. Matt Kenseth won here the August before that. He's won the last 2 in a row. And it could be Roush Fenway 3 in a row if Carl Edwards can hang on here tonight. There have been 12 lead changes among 8 different drivers. Carl Edwards has now led 4 times for 108 laps. Our camera on the Chevrolet pace car looking back at Carl Edwards. There's the 42 car of Juan Pablo Montoya on the inside. He is the car 1 lap down.
73 laps to go. 73. Green flag, green flag. Clear low, clear low. Yeah, back. You're good. Still outside. 3 back. Still outside. Inside, Jim. Still out there. You pulled away from us. Outside. Back. No hole, outside. Made a bit on the outside, didn't make it. You're following you through my house.
Really good run tonight for the 07. Clint Boyer trying to get his best ever finish at Bristol, Tennessee, being shown back in the 3rd position. On that last caution flag on lap 421, we had a number of cars come on the pit road. Both the 48 and 24, Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon pitted. Robbie Gordon came in. Reed Sorensen came in, guys, and they put some fresh tires on.
Well, yeah, why not? I mean, these guys are at the tail end of the lead lap. It'd be a good time to kind of reset and get these guys some fresh tires to see what they can do, put them on offense.
Take a look at the battle for 8th place right now. Martin Truex working the top side of Bobby Labonte. But these are 2 cars that have been really strong throughout the night. And it's probably going to be hard for each one to clear each other because they've been so strong. Guys, I got to believe with 68 laps to go, tensions are going to get high, drivers are going to get nervous, and caution flags are going to fly. I don't think we've seen the last one right now. Back in the pack, they're running awful tight. They're all starting to get a little nervous now. They're running out of time.
Veteran Bobby Labonte making his 30th career start here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Back in 1993, made his first start. Best finish was 3rd here. Carl Edwards trying to hold on here for the final 66 laps. Let's listen in.
Said you wanted me to start taking risks, old boy.
I hear you, buddy. This is fun, ain't it, Bob?
It's fun for me. Today, I got this guy with the hat next to me. Tuesday might not be so fun.
I think he's talking about Jack Roush.
Yeah, Jack Roush comes to Concord, North Carolina every Tuesday. They have the team meetings, and that's what he was referring to. Bob was, hey, it might not be so fun on Tuesday when Bob shows up. So
it's going to be fun if they keep it up here.
Yep.
Roush Fenway drivers are running order. They got Edwards, Biffle in the top 10, Kenseth, McMurray, and David Reagan's had his trouble with the shifter back in 40th spot. Finishing up caution number 7 on the night, we welcome you back to the Sharpie 500 Bristol Motor Speedway. Just 58 laps to go. It has been a fairly clean race, but it could get hot and heavy here in the last 50 laps, Rusty. Everyone anticipating we may see some action and maybe a little bumper tag here.
Well, right now the tensions are sky high. These guys are not in the mood to play nice right now, and they're all over the throttle. And, you know, I was talking earlier about I don't think these cautions are over. Here we go.
Can Carl Edwards hang on? Casey Kane has led 305 laps and has not had a top 5 in 2007. He's hungry.
I tell you, Carl Edwards, he looks like he was shot out of a cannon right there. He had to get ahead of those lap cars to get a clean run, and he did that. But Casey Kane followed him right through, and he's got a good run going too.
Yeah, it's the first really good restart now that Casey's got in the last 2 or 3. He didn't let Carl get too far out there.
Laps winding around. Remember, across the top of your screen, the ticker shows the cars in green. The numbers are in the chase right now. The ones in yellow are on the bubble. You can watch how your driver move in, maybe move in or out, or how close they can possibly get here.
Carl's running some of the fastest laps of the night here. Late in the race, he's running 1660s, which is about a second faster than these guys can run on old tires deep in a run.
We talked earlier about how Tony Stewart had not been a factor. They've been working on the car. Greg Zipadelli and company getting the car to finally turn in the middle of the corner, and he is trying to turn around the outside of the 22 car of Dave Blaney, being shown in 7th position. Mike?
And Doc, I had a conversation with Greg Zipadelli this morning, and he described this weekend as, quote, stressful. The reason being they came here with their setup from the spring, and it just did not respond at all with the new configuration of this racetrack. Another thing Tony struggled with was the hard left side tire. They couldn't get him comfortable with it, but after all the work they've done on that car tonight, it seems like it's working.
One thing I've noticed about Tony Stewart, if it's got 4 tires on it, he'll figure out a way to get it around the racetrack.
I tell you, really got to handle the Goodyear. You know, we talked about how hard the tire is, but I've been watching the lap times, and these tires have just not fell off whatsoever. They've been real durable. They've been consistent. And the drivers that put 4 tires on it picks them up for about 10 laps, like we talked earlier in our broadcast. That's about it on speed. Then they level out. But, Jerry, we've been watching the lap timers here, and the top 20 cars almost the same speed.
Very close up front. Here's some contact on the racetrack. 29 and 43 getting together. 43 of Bobby Labonte in 8th spot. The 29 of Harvick. He is the first car at lap down in 21st position.
Kevin Harvick's racing that 10 car to stay on that.
Trouble in turn 1. One car goes up across the wall, slams hard. Jimmy Johnson is into the car.
And we're torn up.
Ricky Rudd.
If you can, get it fired up. Come back around if you can.
See, Ricky's car's torn up.
But we can limp around here.
That 48 car got some pretty good damage in that too, Jimmy Johnson.
You see if you can drive it there.
There's the Jimmy Johnson car. He was involved. He was behind the accident when the cars went up into the wall. He had nowhere to go. He got hit from the front and the side.
It's not as bad as it looked. It looked like he hit pretty hard. These cars are tough. It's like these new cars are really durable.
And that rear wing on the back of Ricky Rudd's car, that's not on too good. Let's take a look at this replay. Ricky Rudd gets loose going at the corner. We saw that in the Busch race yesterday. A lot of problems with that happening. And nowhere to go. And, you know, that's a hard hit with Jimmy Johnson, but the car doesn't look that tore up in the back of it. These things are, man, they're like Army tanks.
Oh, it got some help. Ricky Rudd got some help from the one car, it looks like.
Yeah, that different angle showed that. That's good. Let's watch Jimmy. He got hit in the back from Matt Kenseth.
It's on the left.
All right, from Jeff Burton's onboard camera, let's look ahead.
6 slow on the ball. Spin in front of. He's up high. He's up high. Easy. Easy. Come on, come on, come on. Great job, boss. Great job.
Different angle.
Yeah, Martin Truex got in the back of Ricky Rudd pretty hard early in the corner.
It's like he just punted him in there.
Juan Pablo Montoya gets damaged. 17 car Matt Kenseth. Ricky Rudd, a lot of them. A lot of damage in this accident right here.
Here's the impact. Jimmy Johnson in there. The 17 car had nowhere to go. There's Montoya coming down. Gilliland involved. Somehow Jeff Burton able to snake his way through. Caution for the 8-time. Ricky Rudd making his 58th start at Bristol. His 899th career start. And a piece off of the 24 car now laying on the racetrack for Jeff Gordon.
He lost the whole back end of the car here. Looks like it got knocked loose in this with his contact. And it looks like Michael's helping him get rid of this.
Michael helped cleaning some debris off the back of the 24 car. Back with the green in a moment. We welcome you back to our NASCAR Nextel Cup Series at Bristol, presented by Pennzoil. Aerial coverage courtesy of our good friends at Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR, helping NASCAR drivers get to the finish line for the past 25 years. Now, one of the classic moves here at Bristol, notably in the late laps, is called the bump and run.
I think the bump and run's fair. I think that's racing. That's the way it is at Bristol. As tough as it is to pass there, if you're a lot faster and you get in front of him and drive away from him.
One thing is moving people to give yourself a bit of room. The other thing is actually hitting somebody up the road. I think it's two different things.
Not to the point of wrecking anyone, but just moving them aside and making a path for yourself. It's become a necessity.
Obviously, there's a fine line there. I mean, if you bump and wreck somebody, it's not good.
At Bristol, it's fair, but it's short track racing. That's just the way it is.
Working on the 88 car, who's gotten one bump and didn't get to run anywhere. He had to run on the pit road and get some of the sheet metal peeled away. Heavy contact. Will we see bump and run in the final 40 laps for the win? We'll find out in just a moment. We come back to Bristol. Just 39 laps to go here at Bristol, Tennessee. The question is, will we finally see the bump and run here in the final laps? We saw some bumping in the final laps of the NASCAR Busch Series race here last night, which affected the outcome. Carl Edwards trying to hold them off. They come down to the green flag. Edwards by 8 car lengths over Casey Kane, in front of Clint Boyer by another 4 car lengths. One of the drivers we thought everyone thought would be a factor tonight is the guy who won in here last August, Matt Kenseth. Hold on one second here. Debris on the racetrack off of one of the cars as they slow him down for caution. Let's check in with Jamie, who's caught up with Matt Kenseth.
And Matt Kenseth won this race the last 2 years in a row, finished in the top 10 9 out of 10 times here. Matt, the good news is you're locked into the chase now, but the bad news, you're done for the night. What happened?
There was a wreck in front of me. I saw it. I just couldn't get slowed down when I was on a brake so hard as I could. I just couldn't get it to stop. But we had a terrible weekend this weekend. We really didn't finish either race, and we ran really terrible. We just couldn't get our dual fusion to turn. So obviously Carl's is turning good, so we got to go back and look at that and get our stuff better, because I can't keep up at all.
Well, an uncharacteristic early exit from Matt Kenseth, guys.
Yeah, 8 top 10 finishes here in the last few years, including 2 wins in that 17 car, but he calls it a night here with just 40 laps to go. Back with the restart at Bristol in just a moment.
Yeah, welcome back. Now it's becoming a little bit more like the Bristol that we know, under our 9th caution with just 32 laps to go. Immediately after the race, Sports Center, John Anderson, John Buchagras standing by. We'll have the winner interview with the race winner here, and coast-to-coast NFL action from the preseason. Little League World Series wrapping up this weekend, a walk-off grand slam. Brad, just 32 laps to go. What are we thinking?
I'll tell you what, dig into that couch, sports fans. It's getting ready to get interesting. I'll tell you, Carl Edwards has done a great job. He's making that car real wide. It's going to be difficult to get around, but it's going to be fast and furious.
I'm looking forward to the bump and run, Doc.
Can Carl Edwards hold on the final 32 laps? We've seen things get wild and crazy. Rusty, you were part of the wildness and craziness over the years. You've benefited. You've also been the victim of the bump and run.
Oh, I've got the bump and run twice going into turn 3 with the checkered flag waving, and it's cost me the wins. And I finished second in both of those races because of that. But right now the tension, like I said earlier, is really getting high. 30 laps to go. And Casey Kane is trying to run down the 99 of Carl Edwards. And at both restarts, he's had great restarts, but Carl's just had a little better.
Yeah, Carl's car just gets going on that first 1 or 2 laps on the restart and just pulls out away from the 9 car, Casey Kane. He just can't seem to get up on that bumper.
Carl's been having a lot of confidence on his